Hey everyone, it's Deja, the Princess of Variety, and I'm back with a new video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about... Someone texted me. I'm going to be talking about the things that I hate. I saw some other people doing this video, and a lot of them titled the video My Pet Peeves. And the reason I didn't title it My Pet Peeves is because I feel like pet peeves are things that bother you that probably don't bother a lot of other people as much as it bothers you. But I feel like some of the things I address in this video probably bothers the majority of you just as much as it bothers me. And on some other people's videos, I saw them getting hate, like, oh, you hate a lot of stuff, like you're rude and judgmental. But the truth is, we all hate things, and I really like ranting sometimes. I feel like ranting can be really fun and expressing your opinion about something. So I wanted to post this video. Before I start, just a little disclaimer. A lot of these things have kind of happened to me recently, but I've always like hated them. But I don't want anybody watching this video that knows me and like get upset or think that I'm directing this video towards you personally, because obviously if it's something that I hate, it's happened to me multiple times in different situations with different people. So don't even think that this video is like directed towards you, or I'm trying to come at you or be rude about a situation that's happened between us, because it's really not about that at all. It's just a video of me talking about the things that I hate. This video isn't necessarily about people, it's about things that people do. So if you do something that I say, don't get upset like, oh, she doesn't like me, because that's not the case at all. The first thing that I hate is when you have an assignment due or something, and you have a notebook, and you want to rip out a sheet of paper, and you try to rip it out, and when you rip it out, this part on the side where it's connected and it's supposed to rip perfectly, rips all up, and your paper's all jagged edged, and it's just disgusting. I can't stand that because it's really a hassle and it's just unnecessary and uncalled for. Like, why can't it just rip perfectly every time? The second thing that I hate is when someone doesn't like someone else for no reason at all. And something that my sister had said was, if you hate someone or you dislike someone for a reason that you can't explain, you're hating on them. And I feel like if you just genuinely do not like someone for no reason, then you are a hater. Like, I'm not just gonna not like someone for no reason. Like, if you don't like someone, you need a legitimate reason for why you don't like them. Maybe it's something they did, maybe it's something they do, maybe it's how they treat you. Like, whatever the case may be, you shouldn't just not like someone for no reason. The third thing that I hate is not having a say in something. For example, if your parents or someone with authority over you in a particular situation tells you you can't do something, and you're like, well, why not? And they're like, because I said so. Like, what? Like, I just don't like that, because it's like, I always want to have a choice, or at least some say in a decision that's made for me, or that I'm making. Like, I want a choice. I hate getting stuck with something that I don't like and just having to deal with it because I don't have a say in it and I'm not of authority and I can't choose for myself. The fourth thing I hate is when someone's doing something wrong and they say you're the one doing something wrong. Like, for example, if you're in a fight with someone, or someone's just being mean, like they're just having a bad day and they're being mean, and you're like, why are you being so mean to me today, or something, and they're like, I'm not being mean, you're being mean. Is that really necessary? Like, I just don't like when people flip the script and try to make it seem like you're the one that's doing something wrong and you're doing something negative when they're the ones that's doing it. Like, when you're in a fight with someone or something and they say something and then later it gets brought up and you're like, well, you said this, and they're like, no, you said it. Like, are you delusional? Like, I just hate that so much. The thing I hate is feeling like I have to rush. Like, if I'm getting ready, sometimes this is my fault because I'm really bad with time management, but if I'm getting ready to go somewhere or something and I have to rush, I really don't like that. It makes me feel weird. Like, I don't think anybody likes to rush, but the thing about me is that I hate getting somewhere early and having to wait. So a lot of the times I end up having to rush because of the time I might wake up for something to get ready to go to it or something like that. So a lot of the times I put myself in this situation, but I really hate having to rush. Like, it's like one of the worst feelings ever. The sixth thing I hate kind of goes hand in hand with having to rush, but it's when people lie about what time they're going to pick you up or what time they're going to be somewhere. Mostly when they lie about what time they're going to pick you up though, because it has a lot more to do with you. I just hate this so much because they'll say, okay, I'm going to come pick you up at 7:30 p.m. sharp. And you're like, okay, so you get dressed or you get ready according to the time they said they're going to be there, or around the time they said they're going to be there. And then they get there at 8 o'clock and you're just like, okay, you're 30 minutes late. Like, I was sitting there rushing. I could have took my time a little bit more because you said you were going to be here at 7:30. Sometimes people will show up, people that I know will show up like even an hour later than what they said. And it's just like, why say you're going to be here at a certain time when you're not? Another thing about that I hate is when they say they're going to be there at 7:30 and they come at freaking 7 o'clock. This happened with me and one of my friends recently. I don't like when they say they're going to be there at a certain time and they get there too early too, because then you're not ready, and then that goes back to me having to rush. So it's like, I just don't like that. If you're not going to be there at a certain time, don't say you're going to be there at that time or around that time. Like, if it's like a 30-minute span between the time you said you're going to be there and the time you're actually going to get there, just don't. Just don't do that. The seventh thing that I hate is when someone says that they don't like you, but they're always worried about you and what you're doing. Like, if you don't like someone, I could see if you got into a fight with someone recently and you're like checking up on them, see if they're talking about you, or asking around, seeing if they're talking about you. But with that being said, months later, if you're still worried about what someone's doing that you don't like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not going to say that I haven't done that before, because I definitely have done it, but I don't do it as much as I used to. Like, if I really don't like someone, I can ignore them and not, like, if they're really not bothering me, I can ignore them, block them out, forget they exist. I'm not going to keep coming to your stuff or worrying about what you're doing when I don't like you. And same for you. If you don't like me, why are you on my stuff? Why are you worried about me and what I'm doing weeks and months after we've even talked? Like, it's just a waste of time, and it's just looking for a reason to be mad. The eighth thing that I hate is when I'm sleeping and someone wakes me up. And I'm not talking about when you're sleeping and someone calls you. Like, if someone special like calls me at like 4 in the morning, I feel so flattered and happy. Like, oh, you care about me. Like, if you can call me that early in the morning while I'm sleeping, like, that's sweet to me. Like, that's romantic. But if you're like someone I don't really want to talk to, like, don't call me. But the main thing that I mean though is like when someone's in your house or something and they're like this happened to me the other day. I love my grandma to death, but she came in my room. I was sleeping. She always does this. She came in my room. She was like, hey, what are you doing? Are you sleeping? Yeah, woo. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. Stop. Like, I cannot stand that. Like, I will wake up and I will be in the worst mood ever and I will say the meanest things. Like, do not wake me up when I'm sleeping. Do not wake me up like that. Like, if I'm sleeping and you come in my room and you're like, you're talking in a calm voice and you're like, Deja, you know, can you do this? Or, you know, talking in a low voice is okay, but if you're like loud and out there and obnoxious, like, get out of my room. Don't talk to me. The ninth thing that I hate is when people feel the need to bring down one weight class to hype up another. This goes for everyone, not just like bigger people or fat people. I've been skinny my whole life. Yeah, sometimes I might complain about my body or whatever, but I know I've been skinny my whole life, pretty much. But the thing that a lot of people fail to realize is that you saying someone is too skinny or that being skinny isn't attractive isn't any less rude than telling someone that they're too big or fat. Like, it's not a difference. I know we're in the era or the time frame or the generation where a lot of people are leaning a lot more towards being like happy with who they are, and that's great. And a lot of people are really more supportive of people being curvy and stuff like that. And what I notice a lot of the time is when people are supportive of people having curves or being a bit bigger than skinny, they feel the need to say that being skinny isn't good enough. Like, I feel like it's wrong on both ends. Like, I feel like you can say someone is beautiful if they're curvy. You know, I feel like you can say that a curvy body or a fat body or a bigger body is beautiful without saying that someone that's skinny isn't. And I feel like you could say someone that skinnier or skinny is beautiful without calling someone else out for being bigger than them. Like, I just don't understand why we have to bring one weight class down to hype up another. Why can't we all just focus on trying to be healthy and being happy with ourselves? Like, why do we have to compete all the time? Like, it's not a competition. There's plenty of different body types, people of different sizes and shapes everywhere. People eat differently, people exercise differently. Some people don't exercise at all. People have different metabolisms. Like, you have to keep all of that in mind. Like, everybody isn't going to be your ideal body type, but I feel like we should all be respectful of one another. We don't have to bring people down for being skinny, because I really feel like a lot of people think that skinny people don't really get a lot of hate for their body type. I think that's like the, you know, that's what everyone thinks. That's the assumptions that everyone makes. But being skinny, like, you get a lot of hate and discrimination and stuff towards that, like, for being skinny too. Like, people have said stuff to me before, maybe not directly, but a lot of people say a lot of stuff about skinny people that really isn't respectful at all. So it's just bad on both ends. I just feel like everybody should just be respectful of everyone's body type.